Calvary.
Arise, Catholic faithful.
Rejoice and renew.
Welcome back to Faith Catechesis, a platform where we learn about our Catholic faith. My name is Nadia, and I'm your hostess for this show. And I'm here with our Reverend Fathers from the Sacrament Parish in the presence of Father January and Father February. Welcome again, Fathers.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I just want to encourage everyone to continually interact with our platform, like, comment, subscribe, and share with everyone who is interested or anyone at all who comes to mind when you see this video. And please feel free to leave comments or questions that you would like us to address in coming episodes, and we'll be more than happy to address them as we go on. So as we started off in the last two episodes in our Lenten series, we're going to continue today on the topic of almsgiving. So where we'll start with the verse Matthew 6:3, which says, "But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing." And verse 4 goes on to say, "So that your giving may be in secret. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you." So I want us to just talk about this topic. Does this mean every time you're giving something to someone, you need to hide it? I think it's also very similar to the fasting and the prayer and praying in secret. Does this mean it's something you're supposed to hide and not let anyone else see? Or what is the motive behind this verse? So how can we practice this verse?
Maybe Father will want to say something about it.
Anyway, so this is an interesting one again, as we're talking about the three pillars of the three main pillars of fasting, or if you like, the works that we are called to do. Now we are talking about charity or alms giving alms. Do you believe in giving alms?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe that we should give alms?
I do.
Well, let me test your mind on this a little. There are people who do not believe that we should give to people. Do you know why?
Why?
Some people think that why should people lazy about? Let's go to work hard and then you have to give them charity. Sociologically, some people sociologically think that it doesn't help them, to become, if you like, to work for themselves. So do you believe in that?
I believe you should help people who need it.
And you think that it will help them, encourage them to work for themselves and fend for themselves? Because if I can get everything I want, if I sit down and I don't work, and then at the end of the day, this man goes to work, and then he comes to feed me, I am not working. But per his belief that he should feed me, he's feeding me, and I get food to eat every day. Why should I go to work?
It's a controversial topic. It's a very controversial topic.
I just tease your mind on it. But this is the truth. This is what some people believe in. And so there are some people who will not do charity, even in the church. You don't see why they should work in the church, because they see others as lazy. They don't want to work. Why should I go and work, suffer, and then come to share with him or her? I will not do that. Okay. But if we look at the spirit behind this pillar, we will see that it's not just about a hard-working person and a lazy person. No, but it is to know that we are interdependent in this world. We are interdependent in you. Today, maybe you have money, the other person doesn't have money, so you can share your money. You have cars, he doesn't have a car, so we can, you can share. Let's say you have strength, he doesn't have strength. You have wisdom, he doesn't have the wisdom. You are creative, that person is not creative. Now, if you look at it from this point of view, then that means that we are interdependent. You have something that somebody doesn't have. Somebody has something you don't have, so we share. Not because we have too much, not because yes, we have worked for it. After all, who gives you the strength to work and then get that? It is God. But you cannot have everything. She cannot have everything. And so everybody has a bit of something, and then we share. This is the idea for me, that we are interdependent. We depend on one another. And so whatever we have, we share. Because today, you may have everything. Tomorrow, you'll be at the mercy of somebody who needs you. Of course, when it comes to cleaning, the rich man will not go to clean. But the poor man has to clean so that there is, as I say, the environment will be clean. But if the poor man doesn't clean, the rich man will fall sick. We are interdependent. All of us cannot do everything. And so that's why I say when your left hand does something, don't let the right hand know about it. Don't make show out of it, because it is not your strength. It is sheer God's blessing and grace. And so realize that your brother needs your help, your brother needs your support, your sister needs your help or support. Be there for one another.
Beautiful. I just love this one. I love this one so much. Yeah.
Okay, so just the next part of that verse, which says that God will reward you. So in giving, are we giving because we are looking forward to that reward from God? Or because then if that's the case, we are being selfish regardless, and giving shouldn't be about being selfish. So with what intent should we be giving? Are we giving because we are looking to feel good about ourselves, or are looking for a reward, or just because we love our neighbors?
Will you, let me come from this point of view. Will you, how do we say it? Will you give food to yourself when you are hungry because you are being selfish about it, or you need to? You need to. Now remember that we are created in the image and according to the likeness of God, isn't it?
Yes.
Beautiful. So when you are giving to somebody, that person is in the image of God. Then you are in that same image. So it's like you are doing it to yourself and for yourself. So you are giving it to yourself for sustenance, not because you need recognition or you need something in return, but you are giving it to yourself because of sustenance. You get a whole point.
Yeah.
So when you look at it from that angle, that's when you understand clearly Proverbs chapter 19 verse 17, who says that whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and not just the Lord but to yourself, because you are created in the image and according to the likeness of God.
So then the reward is just, I guess, a good effect of
when you give food to yourself, you help to sustain yourself.
Yeah.
So to speak, that is the reward. You are sustaining yourself. That's what reward is supposed to do for you. You do something, you get a trophy or something in return to sustain your emotional whatever. That what I gave him has brought this to me to sustain me. So when you give and you get that reward, you are just sustaining yourself. So when you look at it from that angle, you always do good, because you are doing it to God, and you are created in the image and according to the likeness of God. So you are doing it to yourself.
Okay.
I appreciate Father's response, because the question is very relevant. The question is very, very relevant in the sense that if the reward is not there, will people do charity? So if the reward is taken away, what will happen? Will people still be charitable to one another? And again, looking at Father's response, if we take the idea that, well, why are people doing good? Why are people supposed to be nice to one another, treat each other well? Is it because they want to go to heaven? Now, what if we come to know, or we come to realize that, or it is revealed to us that heaven does not exist, hell does not exist. Therefore, whatever you do or whatever you don't do, you don't go to heaven, you don't go to hell. Will people still be good? Will people still do what is right? Will people still come to church? For all you know, people are coming to church because I want to go to heaven. People are doing good because I want to go to heaven. What if there is no heaven? What if there is no hell? Will people still do good? That is where Father's answer is very relevant, and then it fixed in shape. So that even if there is no heaven, there is no hell. Even if there is no God, we still need to be good to ourselves. You understand? So if we are thinking only about the reward, what if the reward is not there? What shall we do? That is where I appreciate Father's response. So it is not about the reward. It's not so much about it, but it is there. If you are able to do it, you receive it. If your focus is on the reward, and then you realize that somebody is already taking the reward, you stop. So we are in the race, and the first, second, third are those people who will take the crown. If already I see that there are 3 people ahead who are going to win, me at the back, why should I even run to cross the line? I can just get out of the queue and then go to my house I say, you know what? Those guys, the three people are taking the gold, silver, and bronze. So, hey, I'll go. I hope you get it. Yeah. But sometimes it's not just about the reward, but it's also about your dignity, the fact that you love what you do, and for the fact that so many other reasons apart from, but the reward is there. If you're able to get there, you get the reward.
Okay. Okay, so you realize that in the lives of the apostles, there were lots of instances where they gave everything they had and just gave it to the poor. And so is this to say that we are not meant to live a life of abundance? Are we supposed to take everything away, give everything we have to people, and because we want to see everyone on an equal level? Or is it okay to work towards wealth and then still give to people, or we are supposed to live a life of frugality like the apostles did?
Beautiful question there again. Today your questions are very
these ones, they are doctorate questions.
Your question reminds me of what happened in the Garden of Eden. When God came and was looking for Abel, and Cain said, am I my brother's keeper? Yes, you are your brother's keeper. We are each other's keeper, and that is what we are meant to be. Okay, so the first answer I gave, that we are dependent on one another, so we need one another, and God intentionally does that so that we support one another. That's why no one person has everything. And so, what sense does it make if one person has everything and another person has nothing, and this person sees the other person suffering, and what do? So I have a house full of money. Somebody is suffering. Somebody's child died because they have no money, and I have that to save that life. I hope you get it. Yes. Recently, a friend of mine told me that his brother was involved in an accident. Okay, and they went to the hospital. When he went to the hospital, the scan detected that. They said, it's funny, but they said he has so much blood, excess of blood in the body. Wow. And so what's the remedy? That he has to go and donate blood. So that is strange.
No, practically it happened to me. When I think when we were going to Sotum for philosophical studies, we went to Bato for medicals. And that was when I realized that I had blood in abundance. So I had to donate some. And that was one of the requirements. To let some go. So it's true. I can relate.
Okay. I think the excess of it cost him a blackout. And that caused the accident. But of course, hearing that he has to go and donate some, was very interesting. Just donate blood and you are safe. So I think people like you should be donating blood every month. People like you should be donating blood. So blood bank, come for this one. You will be donating every month. So God gives him abundance of blood. Not for what? Why do you keep that? So there are others also who have lower than the average. Okay, so in that case, we are there for one another. Sharing, they say, is caring. If you care, you share. But if you don't care, why should I share? Okay, and this is what it's about. You love, you share.
Okay. So I think this is kind of tied to my next question. So in Luke 6:30, it says to give to everyone. Give to everyone who asks of you, and from him who takes away your goods, do not ask them back. So, tying to what you said about abundance and being able to depend on one another and giving to everyone, does this mean that, let's say for example, at the end of every month, I'm paid a certain amount of money. I put money down for this, I put money down for that. So I've sort of planned every amount of money, and then when you come and ask me, the money I have to spend, it's not enough to give you, but then technically I do have the money. It's just that it's not budgeted for that. So if you are supposed to go by this verse, whatever happens, by all means, you're supposed to take out of what you have and give to the person. So are we, this verse has always been a little tricky for me, because how do we live out?
Then you ask yourself, my money for my rent, should I give it out to somebody? My money for this, should I give it out to somebody? And all that. This question, Charlie, today you are fiery. Today you are fiery, yeah. Anyway, I mean, you are just like US and Israel right now. You are treating us like Iran. Anyway, if I want to look at this question, then again, I'll go back to how I answered your first question, and then we'll take it from there, and then now we'll go to Cain and Abel, because Father brought Cain and Abel. Then we'll look critically at this, and then we'll see whether we can help ourselves. So you realize that I said that we are all created in the image and according to likeness of God. So anything we do to anybody who is created, also created in the image and likeness of God, we do it to our own selves. Okay, then now let's go to Cain and Abel. Now Cain, definitely would have budgeted everything. He budgeted everything. Charlie, this one is for this one is for the market, this one is for that. So now let me send these ones to God, whose image and likeness he is created. So let me send these ones. Then Abel will now come, though he had budgeted, had to forgo all the budget and give something that entered him. They fatted this thing, the juicy one, and gave it to God. No, remember, God recognized Abel's sacrifice because he gave it out. Knowing that he's not just giving it out, but he's giving it back to himself. That is why he gave it out. Not to give it out just to God like that, but he's giving it to himself. He's created in an image and according to the likeness of God. So he's giving it out back to himself. I don't know whether you get it.
I get.
Do you get the whole concept?
Yeah.
And that is when practically, when you look at it, sometimes what you are given, it enters your bone marrow. When I say it enters your bone marrow, you feel it. Oh, this is my last. You give it out, and in the next moment, somebody calls you. Oh, it's been a long while I heard from you. Oh, Charlie, you cry. Charlie, let me fire you some momo. And what comes sometimes is greater than what you give out, because you have given it back to yourself.
Wow.
I don't know whether you get the whole understanding.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good. It doesn't mean every time when people come, what you've budgeted for your rent, you give it out. What if you give it out and then in the next moment the landlord is there to take it? But what we are all talking about is that, look, sometimes or mostly see it as giving it back to yourself. And when you see it that way and you let it go, what will come back to you will amaze you. Yes. I don't know, maybe the viewers will attest to this fact, but it happens. But please, it's not always when people come, you'll be giving your rent money, your food money. No. But look, when you're about to give in that light. And you will always be inspired to give. You will always be inspired to give. There are some people really, look, a junkie will come to you and you will carry your rent money and give to him, and it's not that he's going to use it for something but he's going to use it for drugs. No, that's where you realize that you'll be inspired to give. So there are some people, something to sustain them, but there are some people, look, the person is in dire need, some surgery, something, they need 5,000. You have budgeted 5,000 for your rent. But look, the thing will kick you that you are giving it back to yourself. When you give it out and it saves a life, something else will come back to you, greater than 5,000. You'll be able, who knows, maybe you'll not even get something back like money, but then your landlord might come and say, oh, okay, I'll give you more time to have more time to make up for that money. And by that time, you would have made up for that money, but then you would have helped yourself. Thank you.
It reminds me of.
Okay.
I was just saying the verse 6:38, given it to be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over.
I just wanted to add. The question is very practical, and I'm sure that many of our viewers who are watching us are going through this. Now, this is what I want to say. It reminds me of when Jesus, the woman who Jesus forgave sins, came and poured this perfume, on his feet and used their hair, cried and used their hair to clean it. And then our brother Judas, wow, this oil is so expensive. This could have been sold and taken the poor. Now, Jesus' answer is very unique. In this question, Jesus said, the poor are always with you. The poor are always with you. And so, if one is making a budget like yours, making a budget for this and that, budget for the poor. Budget for the poor. This is where, like Father said, whatever that goes out will come back to you in a great measure, like you have said, because you are thinking about the poor like God. The Lord hears the cry of the poor. God thinks of the poor. And so when you are also thinking of the poor, you become like God, who is thinking about the good and the well-being of others. And God, in his own special way, takes care of these people. So when you are making your budget, rent, water, data, and whatever, budget for the poor. 10 cedis for the poor, 50 cedis for the poor. So that when the poor person comes, you already have a budget. You can work within that budget. It's better than no budget at all. Then you will not give. And so if you want to give, make a budget for the poor, so that when they come, you see the situation. Don't even wait for them to come. I think I have budget for this poor person because I have budgeted for them. Make provision for them, because he said the poor are always with you. They are with us. They are with us. And so maybe the challenge will be, after you exhaust that budget, let's say for the month, I put down 100 cedis or 200 cedis for the poor, and then after exhausting it, and somebody else comes, what do I do? Oh, now I am harder. You give me some time, and then because I'm waiting for another month to come, then I'll budget again for that month. So that month, that person will be on the list. Then you are making a proper plan, budgeting for the poor. Else you will never do good.
I have to watch.
Anyway, just to finalize it, I think in a different form you are saying that should we give out of the abundance that we have or not? You realize that there was a widow who gave her last coin. You know, Jesus mentioned it, and then others were giving. He says this widow has given all. The rest they give out of overflow of what they have. Give, let it enter your bone marrow. Give, let it enter your bone marrow. You see what God will do for you.
Oh wow, I have so many questions, but I think we'd have to cut it here. Maybe pick it up another time. Yes, definitely. So thank you so much for joining us yet again. Please do like, comment, subscribe, leave your comments. If you have any questions, any concerns you want us to address in the following episodes, please feel free to do that as well. Thank you for staying with us in this episode, and thank you for joining us along this Lenten series. Stay blessed.
The sky began to dim. Creation held its will for love of Him. The sacrifice prepared, a world repaired. His hands would soon be nailed.